Point blank, period. Swatting should be a felony. This is not a new problem. Take a listen.
Atlanta 911, operator 8715. What is the location of your emergency?
The location is a transfer. 1 second, ma'am, for 273 William Nye Drive, Southeast.
It's 273 William. Oh, you said Nye, NYE, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, DeKalb. Hello, caller.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Do you need police, fire, EMS?
Both, if you could say both. There was literally a shooting. The house, literally the neighbors next door, the house of the address that I just gave you, the 273. There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on. There's like 7 guys that live in this house.
What's your name?
I'm sorry, what is my name?
Okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch, and basically, like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns and stuff. They hold the guns in the air, and then it's like, I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. They was fighting over drugs. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. And then they started shooting. She had someone come over there, and they started shooting. But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area.
How many shots were fired?
I would say 3. It was 3 shots.
When did it?
It's happening now.
Okay.
So I believe the girl is hurt.
And they're coming from 273 William Nye Drive?
Yes. And the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
Oh. Do you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, she's trying to get away, and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. Like she's trying to. They brought her. The guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked, and then he was fighting her outside. And then there was another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door, literally fighting. She's trying to get out. He's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in the house.
Okay, give me one moment.
There's also a child in danger as well because she has a baby.
Okay, you said the female is naked?
Yeah, she's naked, and she's bleeding profusely from her head.
Okay. Can you give me a description of the male?
The male is like has like a caramel complexion, low haircut.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black, and he drives.
What color shirt and pants do he have on?
Regular blue jeans, and like a regular T-shirt. I'm not sure. I didn't really get the. Okay, I'm not sure if it was blue or black.
Okay, dark T-shirt. And what about the female?
She's light skinned and she has black hair. She's probably about 5'3". 130 pounds.
What?
Whoever's in that house, this buzzard bandit is trying to get that person killed. Make no mistake about it. This is the intended purpose of this. And this happens a lot, more oftentimes than people realize. And it's finally coming to light. This has been happening within the black community for decades, the longest of time. People only started taking notice when it started happening in the streaming genre, video game streaming, when you have guys, you could be beating the crap out of somebody or something, Call of Duty, Madden, 2K, whatever. All of a sudden, they make this bogus call to emergency contact services, like whatever area you're in. They might find your IP address or whatever and trace it to the area you're in, city you're in, whatever. Maybe, playing this person previously, you might have mentioned that you live in such and such state. So, they get in their feelings because they're losing a game and decide to call the police. And, this person is, he's trafficking and he kidnap some people and stuff like that, and oh my God, you can hear them screaming and stuff like that. All of a sudden, police come to that person's house, guns drawn, and there has been incidents that have gone very bad. Didn't get that much light, but the ones that do get light, they end up arresting the person, throwing them down on the ground, because they're thinking there's something really seriously going on. And then over time, see, law enforcement are starting to catch on. They're starting to realize, you know what? This is a very serious problem. People are using law enforcement as a weapon against people they don't like. And it's very rampant in streaming now. Whether you're video game streaming and you're beating the crap out of somebody, whether you're conservative, there's a lot of hate for conservatives now, especially if you're black and conservative. They know conservatives tend to be Second Amendment supporters, so that's an easy setup and an easy lie that can be presented, and they do this, but it's very bad in the black community. Brothers get it very bad in the black community, especially when a woman who claims they would do anything for you. That's has been proven over time to be a blatant lie, very fictitious in nature. Definitely a problem there, but this is an even bigger problem outside of this is a nationwide problem, especially with online content creators who often will say something you don't like because it's a representation of society. We have different information at different times. You might not agree with somebody. You might hate what somebody says, but this is my thing. Why is it so important for everybody to agree with what you say and what you do? I thought this was America. See, this problem is multi-layered, but the overall issue is swatting as a whole should be a felony, period, no matter the situation.
And you said she's naked. Okay. Give me one moment. Let me get EMS on the line.
Okay.
You have reached Grady EMS. Do not hang up. Your call will be answered in the order received.
EMS, what's the address of the emergency?
Hey, Grady, it's Atlanta with a transfer. The caller is advised in 273 William Nye Drive, Southeast. Let me give you a little bit about what's going on at this location. There's a male at the location that's fighting a female. She is naked. A shooting. Shots were fired. About three shots were fired.
Repeat the address for me.
273 William Nye, NYE Drive, Southeast.
Oh, okay. Tell me exactly.
Notice the lady, as soon as she said shots fired, excuse me, at first she said there's a shooting. The woman she's talking to was like, wait a minute. Say it again. What address is this? See, that started the ball rolling as far as the escalation of the anxiety because when police officers show up at a scene and when they hear that there's been a shooting, they're on edge already before they even approach there. Their adrenaline starts rushing before they even show up to the scene. So they're on pins and needles already. This is why this is so dangerous and it needs to be dealt with severely. This should be a felony. This should be mandatory 25 to 40 years in prison. No time off for good behavior. This needs to be put on the books. People that do this, some of y'all might know my position. A lot of these positions with the domestic terrorism that's going on in this country and the swatting, I say the minimum should be 40 years. Minimum. Mandatory.
See what happened?
I had to call her and let her know what happened.
Hello.
Well, before I get into that, is this a business house or an apartment?
This is a house, and I think you guys should get here quick because this girl he's really hitting her. And it's a child involved. It's like 7 guys in the house.
There's a child involved. 7 guys in the house. Black. He's beating her. There was a shooting. All kinds of... These are all adrenaline increasers when it comes to being a police officer. They hear stuff like this. Adrenaline is already pumping. Their heart is already racing because they don't know. In their mind, they're walking into a very dangerous situation. And the way she's framing it is, okay, there's a possibility there might be hostages in there. This woman is whoever she's mad at in the house. Yeah, unfortunately, young Scooter ended up being the victim of all of this. But whoever she was mad at, she's trying to get that person, basically she's trying to get everybody in there deleted. Everybody. At this point, she don't care. Her sloppy emotions is spilling all over the place, and it's infecting this situation because when the cops show up, they're gonna be ready. Either the guns are gonna be drawn already, or you better believe that holster is whether they got the old school strap or the little clickety click on the bottom, safety off, they ready to go as soon as they step out the car. Because they don't know what's going on. They just getting this report secondhand from emergency responders, and they're going to show up like, okay, could be hostages in there. There's a kid involved. So she's trying to get people killed. That's what this phone call was about. And that's what swatting overall is about. They're trying to, the person that's being swatted, the people that's making the phone call, they're trying to get that person killed, point blank. That's why it should be a felony, automatic prison time, not county jail time, prison time.
All have guns. You guys need to hurry and get here before she doesn't make it.
Ma'am, we already have help organized for her. What's the phone number you're calling from? Exactly what happened?
There's a situation going on in this house. There's 7 guys that live here, and they're basically, I'm not sure if they're running some type of sex traffic. This individual, she's a 5'2", light-skinned female, black hair. She ran outside naked, bleeding from her face. She tried to get away. She was dragged back into the house, and they're holding her hostage. And then there was a baby involved. So this situation is really serious, and he's punching her. If you guys don't get her, she's going to be really hurt.
Atlanta, what's your operator number?
8715.
And you already have PD en route?
PD has been notified and it's being started.
Okay, stand by for
What's
fire.
your operator?
I'm
you
calm
want,
8.
You want fire?
Stand by. I'm not sure if the protocol has been requested.
Okay.
Are you, ma'am, are you with the patient now?
No, I'm a neighborhood watch. I'm just literally a neighborhood watch. I'm not.
Lies on top of lies. She's trying to commit secondhand murder. That's what's going on.
In the house.
Okay, no problem. About how old do you think she is?
She has to be about maybe, she looks a little underage, but I don't want to say that. You know, looks can be deceiving. So she's roughly, I'll say let's just say between 18 and 21. Somewhere between that.
Is she awake?
What do you mean, is she awake? He's beating her bloody. I'm not.
In her cadence, how she's talking, she's trying to get the cops over there to kill everybody in that party. She don't care. She definitely mad at whatever dude in there that she probably fell out with. But he's beating her bloody. Oh my God, you guys got to get here before somebody get hurt. Do the SWAT and crap. They're not sending a message. They're trying to murder the person because they themselves are too cowardly to do it themselves. And unfortunately, somebody lost their life in this situation. And I hope justice is served to the fullest extent of the law. This should not go unpunished.
Is she breathing?
Ma'am, he dragged her back in the house.
Okay, I understand that. I'm going to ask you some more questions. I understand you're not able to see what exactly is going on now. But just answer the questions to the best of your ability.
Okay.
She threw that change-up pitch in there for those of you that watch baseball. The operator was like, I notice you can't see what's going on. She says that right after the lady says he just drug her back into the house and he's beating her. But this, Spencer person says, okay, instead of saying I can see what's going on, and he drug her back in the house. Aren't you going to correct me? Tell me more of the lie that you're telling right now.
Were any weapons involved?
Everyone in the house has weapons.
Okay.
The 7 guys that live there, they're roommates or something like that. I don't know if all 7 lives there, but it's typically about the same amount that's there every day.
Okay. Is there any serious bleeding?
She's bleeding from her face, like the whole front of her face. She's bleeding profusely, and then there's a child involved.
Okay. Is she responding normally?
Are you serious, man?
Yes, I'm serious. I need to know for the paramedics if she's completely alert.
How can I assess if she is alert if I just told you they dragged her back in the house?
So like I advised earlier, just answer to the best of your ability.
She was breathing when she was outside trying to get away.
Hello, caller. If you don't know, you can just say unknown.
I don't know.
Thank you for that. Atlanta's not requesting for...
Now she getting an attitude. The emergency responders, I think they get a sense of some lies being poured on this situation. They kind of know it. They sense it because they get thousands of calls. And then when the end results come, which ones were real and actual problems, which ones ended up being fake. Then they go back to the conversation because they record the phone calls anyway. They get trained on this stuff. So they go back, okay, this one was fake. Well, let's review the phone call interaction with the person that called. Was there any tips that were given away that, okay, this person's probably lying? Is there a pattern that was established during the phone call? Okay, at first this person said this, then they're saying that. And right here, you can kind of tell they're adding on and they're egging on, so they kind of get a sense. This is why the tone of the operator, you can kind of tell that she's like, what else? You kind of sense that she knows, but can't really go at it at that angle because it's in the moment and you want to be safe as far as getting this right.
Fire to go out there.
Okay, we do have PD started to this location. 2 officers are en route.
I'm clear on 2 officers en route. Thank you.
All right, Atlanta is disconnecting. All right, thank you, caller.
Okay, ma'am, I'm sending the paramedics to help.
And this is why I say it should be a felony because these things can spiral so far out of control. And it could be a situation that, especially if it's somebody who's a supporter of the Second Amendment, somebody could call the cops on them, and they don't know that it's cops, and the cops are already on high alert, and they get to picking at the door, or maybe they kick the door in because they think there's really a hostage situation going on, and woman being beaten, and we got children in here. So let's say they want them kick the door in. Now, if you are a Second Amendment supporter, somebody kicks the door in, your first reaction is to grab that piece. And let's say you not return fire, but let's say you get the clipping first. Then you realize it's a cop. Now all of a sudden, a cop gets hit. And what if the cop ends up passing away? All because of this person was upset with somebody. And it's always over something minor, in the black community, or a relationship that went bad. He don't want you anymore. So you find out where he's at and you decide to swat him. You're losing in a video game online, and you and other person talking trash to each other, and hope that the worst comes along, because if police come and they end up taking this person out, hey, I won't lose to them online and gaming anymore. See, it's a bigger problem than just what's going on in the black community. Even though this has been going on for years, women doing this to brothers, we know this. That's why SYSBM is so important. A layered issue that's still going on. The penalty is nowhere near severe enough, because I don't believe it is a felony at this point. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I don't think it's a felony yet, and it should be. The mandatory sentence, in my opinion, should be 40 years to life, because your true intention, the genesis of your intention, is to get that other person murdered. That's your original intention. That's your motive. That's the end result that you really want to happen, but you're too cowardly to actually stand on your word and say it with your chest. But everybody knows that that's what you really want to happen, because either that person he's better, or they're better at you at something. You just can't stand it, or they don't want to deal with you. They don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. They're like, nah, you go your way and I go mine, and you can't take it. So now you don't want that man to be with nobody else. You can't take money from him because y'all wasn't married, y'all ain't got no kids or nothing. So, okay, if I can't have him, let me swat him, see if that'll take him out. And then if something bad, something tragic like this happens to young Scooter, now all of a sudden, I never meant for anything bad to happen. Yes, you did. That was your original intention. And just like any swatting situation, I hope justice is served. This woman should get life in prison. Her life was ended because of her initial emotional reaction to, let me call a fake call to emergency responders and have them murder whatever man she was beefing with that was in that house. The side effect, she's directly responsible for it, and she should go to prison for at least 40 years. That's my stance on it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video because it's very important. This is a problem, a growing problem in this country, and it needs to be nipped in the bud right now. Mandatory 40 years in prison. That being said, this transmission is over.